great conversation all aboard happening here right now. And of course, later on in the program, we have so many things to cover. Later on in the program, we have our 2020 feature. 20 past the hour is going to be Brian Camp coming in with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Pete D, or DJ Pete, I should say. He's normally here, but he has the day off today. So he sent me information for his segment of the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour, reciting all of those birthdays of famous people. And all of that's coming up. We're also going to give you information on what to watch this week. Turner Classic Movies. We have a few that we want to just talk to you about later on. That happens all later on this program. And it's you, me. And if you want to join in on the conversation, we'd be happy to do so. Thank you so much for being along with us. We want to say hello to all of our friends over there who are watching us on Facebook, all of our friends watching us on YouTube. And so if you can't get one, there's always the other. So you have the best of both worlds. Thank you very much for being here. So as we start our show each week, let's start well off with that heavy hand clap, right, that we give to you. That's for you, of course. And of course, it goes out to all of the people who have been involved with this pandemic since the beginning. And we're talking about our doctors, our nurses, our first responders, the firefighters, the police officers, the whole 9 yards, everyone. And even people who work essential jobs, we can't forget them too, because they went through it all. And essential people like myself, we have to be here regardless. And I think we all did a good job doing it, because now the pandemic is slowly but surely subsiding, and we can get it done even quicker if you guys get vaccinated. There's always a place to do that. I'm going to give you information on how to do that. I want to say hello to all of my friends over there in Facebook. There you go. I see they're all coming in. Okay, so if you look at the top, if you're watching us on Facebook, you look at the top, right? And if you're watching us on YouTube, you look in the area, the chat area, right? We have information for you. That's where you see at the very top, you can see the name of the show, today's date, and underneath that it's called COVID-19 test. You can see that information is there for you. That's COVID-19. And underneath that, or next to it, there's a telephone number. And that number is 718-638-7682. You see that number there? Yeah, it's right there. It's there for you. Now that number is a local New York number, but we could use it no matter where you are around the country. You could get the same information as if you had your own local number, which I'm sure you do. But I just lay that out there for your information. And that information, you could talk to someone about COVID-19, have any questions about it, they'll be able to answer your questions. It will give you information too on where to go to get tested if you need it. And if you have the symptoms, to please go and get tested. Test takes only 5 seconds, and then you're done. And in certain cases, you don't have to have an appointment anymore. Just walk right on in, and they'll be glad to oblige you. And of course, you can get information on where to get vaccinated too. We have information with that telephone number, and there's so many places you can go to get vaccinated. You have your doctors; they may have a supply. Your primary doctors, they may have a supply. You can go to your local pharmacist. There are places where you can go drive by. And again, in most cases, you don't have to make an appointment. Just go right there and they'll oblige you. Now, some places they may. Just the other day, I was passing by a pharmacy in New York, and I saw the sign that said appointments only. So, but there's just a few places, but for the most part, because so many people have taken the vaccination, and so it's not as congested as it was before. So it gives you the upper hand to go there and, right in person, just walk right in and see what happens and just go there. Now, for those of you who are fully vaccinated, you know that you don't have to wear a mask. They say you don't have to, science says you don't have to wear a mask anymore, but people are taking it day by day, slowly but surely. Some people are wearing their mask occasionally or taking their mask off, But we advise you to carry a mask wherever you go, because there may be places where you have to enter a store. Well, let's say, well, if you can't wear your mask, you can't come in here. So even though you're fully vaccinated and you walk down the street without a mask, at least have the mask in your pocket, because when you enter these places, they won't let you in, and that's not a good thing. Also, you're going to need that because a lot of these transportation people, like the buses and the subways, they require that you wear masks on their buses and subways. And even when you're flying, people are wearing masks. So you're fully vaccinated, you're good to go, but still take your mask along with you. Now, for those of you who are not vaccinated, we urge you to do so. A lot of people won't take the vaccine because of maybe health reasons or religious reasons, whatever it is. But for those of you who are able to do it, we advise you to do it. Do it. Get on board, jump on board, and get there. And of course, those numbers that I gave you, that 8718 number that I gave you, it gives you information on where to go right in your neighborhood. It's just a matter of going to giving your zip code. And let's say, for instance, if you're living here in New York City, we have 5 boroughs. You don't have to go out of your borough. All you have to do is just, let them know what your zip code is, and they can tell you right away. Well, there may be one right around the corner from you, down the street, the block, someplace, and they'll give you that information. Of course, unless you want to get out of your borough just for the heck of it and go someplace else, that's okay. There's no law against that. But just keep in mind that you don't have to leave your borough, and you don't have to, for most cases, you don't have to leave your neighborhood. So therefore, do that. Go get tested. Now, we have here in New York City a 311 number, which operates differently, but it gives you all kinds of information. Now, that 311 number is a number that even when tourists come to town, they want to use that number to find out, where to go, the hottest spots, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, things like that. Travel information, you get that. It tells you all of that. You can use that number as maybe a complaint number to, there's a broken street and you don't want anyone to get hurt. So you contact them and let them know the location, and you'll have someone out there, because New York City is so big. They don't always know where the broken streets are. If you have a noisy neighbor up above you that's constantly making noise, all kinds of days and nights, and if you're a landlord or you're a management company are unwilling or unable to do anything about it, you call that number and they can steer you in the right direction. I also have a website for those of you who are in New York who don't know where to go to get vaccinated, and it's nycvaccinelist.com. That's nycvaccinelist.com. You can go there, and it has a list of places you can go. So all of that is there for you. Now, if you're watching the show in real time, and even if you're not watching in real time, some people don't get to watch it in real time, and they want to come back and watch it on the rewind. The information is still up there for you. It's still up there for you, and it will always be. So each week, until this pandemic is flat as a pancake, no more, finito, gone, we'll keep giving you that number. And so that's the way it is. So we want to say hello to all of those people that are coming in. So thank you guys for joining us here on Facebook, and you guys are on YouTube. And by the way, when you guys come in, please give us your weather forecast. We would love to hear that. And I can give you, as a matter of fact, I will give you my weather forecast right now on New York. And this is what we have today. It's Friday, and it looks pretty good. It's going to be mostly sunny skies. This morning will become overcast during the afternoon. We'll have a high near 85 degrees. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So they don't hear anything about rain just as yet. For tonight, cloudy skies early, then off and on rain will happen. Well, that's when we get a little rain around. Off and off showers overnight. Low 69 degrees, winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 40%. And let's see for Saturday, well, cloudy skies. Well, what are you going to do? This is New York only. Could be better where you are. Cloudy skies, stray showers and thunderstorms are possible. We'll have a high 88 degrees. Winds will be west southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it's not a washout, just stray. All right. In a lot of cases, it doesn't happen at all because I've seen that happen. Saturday night, scattered thunderstorms during the evening, then partly cloudy overnight, low 69 degrees. Winds will be west southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and chance of rain only 40%. So there you go, right there. And our current temperature here in New York as we stand, it's 76 degrees. And there you go. What are you going to do? But I hope your weather is better. I sincerely hope your weather is better. Hopefully it is. It will be. And we'll see about that. Let's see. But hey, there's more people coming in. I want to wave to you guys. And as I said later on, we got the 2020 feature coming up with Brian Camp and DJ Pete, who's not here. So I will cover for him today. Hey, I want to give you a little information here. Do you know that you probably heard about it already, but you know it's old news to you. But we only do this show once a week, and of course, we just like to pass it along to you anyway. Film and actor Ned Beatty. Remember Ned Beatty, film and actor star Ned Beatty, who was Oscar nominated for his supporting role in Network and appeared in a number of most significant American films for the 1970s. He passed away of natural causes at the age of 83. That's Ned Beatty. Actress Lisa Baines, who's one of our local people here in New York, who played in Gone Girl and Cocktail with Tom Cruise. She died after being hit by a motor scooter here in New York City. She was only 65 years old. Sometimes these deaths are needless, but they do happen. So we want to send our condolences out to the friends and the colleagues and all of his fans, including Lisa Baines, all of their fans and friends, and wish them our condolences. Also, here's another thing that came across, and I just found out this morning. This happened just a couple of days ago. Frank Bonner, if you don't know the name, Frank Bonner, he played the character Herb Talkett on TV sitcom WKRP Cincinnati. And he died this week, just a couple of days ago, as a matter of fact, at the age of 79. So there you have it. There's a piece of information. Moving along, we want to say hi and happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everyone. Finally, it's passed. You know what Juneteenth is, right? That was the day when slavery was abolished back in 1865. That was 156 years ago. And finally, our beloved President Joe Biden, has signed the bill to make it a national holiday. So today, I would think today would be the holiday. Are people taking off? I don't know. I mean, after the bill was signed, it's legal now. So I'm assuming that people are taking off today. If not today, then maybe Monday. I'm not sure. Let me know what's happening in your area, if people are taking off, if they're actually acknowledging the holiday. The actual date is tomorrow, the 19th. That's the 19th, June 19th in 1865. That's when it was all abolished. And so, June 19th is on a Saturday, but it's either celebrated today or Monday. But I'm assuming it's celebrated today. However, if you're celebrating, listen, just give me a moment to celebrate. I am going to celebrate that. And I'm glad that's coming along because I want to celebrate the fact that the people who were ahead of me as an African-American person, of course, we had people ahead of us, and I had heroes, and all of those people before me, all of those people who were enslaved. I've had relatives and family that I never met in slavery. And I just want to thank the people, some who are no longer with us and some who are still with us, pioneers who had waited for this day to come around. I want to thank you for paving the way for a guy like me. I was going to say a young guy like me, But I said that even when I was young, paving the way, because back in those days, we didn't have great opportunities. Opportunities weren't issued to us or weren't given to us. We were being, as a people, ostracized from society. But I'd like to thank people, let's say people like Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, Sammy Davis Jr., who had gone through the mud, so I wouldn't have to. And I can keep naming other people, actresses like Dorothy Dandridge and Hattie McDaniel, Billie Holiday, all of those people. I can't sit here and name them all because I will be here all night. But you get the idea. Those are the people who have paved the way for me, and people in radio too. I have to say that. There's Jocko Henderson, Hal Jackson, and a few others who have paved the way for me. So I don't, and they went through the mud, so I didn't have to. And so now it's my turn to open the doors for people who are coming behind me. And I hope that really happens. So I just wanted to take that opportunity to say that. It's an exciting thing. So there you go. And I see more people are coming along here with us. I see them there. I see them there. I think we had a shutdown in our program. All right. So let's see. I think, let me see what's happening. We're having a problem with our video here. Okay, we're still on YouTube, but we're having a problem on Facebook, and I'm going to check that out right now. I'm going to check that out right now to see what the problem is. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Let's see. I think, are we on? Are we on? Let me see. I think we're on. We may be on. Let me check for sure. Let me check for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Let's check for sure. Okay. Okay, we're off. We're off. We got to get back on it. We got to get back on it. Let's see. We got to get back on it. I got a lot of people who are, let's see, who are watching the coffee hour. Okay. We're having a problem over on the Facebook side, but for those who are on YouTube, those of you who are on YouTube, stick with us, and let's see what's happening here. Let's see. We'll get around to it. We'll get around to it. Okay. Let's see. Boy, this is terrible. This is really terrible. Let's see. This is terrible. Let's see if we can get back on it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we're back on, I think. Go live. There we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what happened. We had a technical glitch there. I'm not sure what happened there. But if you're under the sound of my voice, raise your hand. All right. You guys on YouTube, you're still with me? I see the guys on YouTube, they're still with me. Okay, we're back. We're back now. We're back. We just had a dropout in our show on Facebook. We just had a dropout. So those of you who are under my voice, you see me right now, just say hi, wave to me, just say hi so I know that you're out there. I am going to right now check on Facebook and see. Okay, so I do see that we're there. We're still live. We're live. We just had a glitch. I'm sorry about that, but we are back. Brian here in just a couple of seconds with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And it's you and I, and he has a lot of sports to talk about. There's a lot to talk about because the sports baseball is back. You already know that, right? And it's swinging. People are going back to stadiums, and the football season will be here before you know it. Basketball season will be here before you know it. So sports will be back in full swing. I love to watch my wrestling matches in the month of July. They're no longer going to use those trons. that with the live people there, they're going to have actual people because they're going to be leaving and going back on the road. So they're going to be going back on the road with that. And then you'll have the live people. So everything is coming back slowly but surely. I took a trip over to where we used to do our show, the Coffee Hour Live, and I want to tell you more about that. But before we get into that, I want to go to Brian, directly to Brian, coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Brian, we just had a dropout in program, but we're back on the air now.
Well, I'm not on YouTube. I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had a dropout on Facebook. We were still on YouTube, but we had a dropout on Facebook. But we're back now. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got.
Well, good morning to everyone out there. Good morning to people on YouTube land and on Facebook. It's pretty nice morning. It's 73 degrees out here in Charlotte, North Carolina, going up to 92 degrees. So we're going to have some pretty good weather, sun. We've been having a lot of cloudiness and rain like the last past week, but this week it's been wonderful. The sun is out, the birds are chirping, and the rabbits are running around in my backyard. So it's you know that it's fun time is here. So, but let me get to sports. And as I reported last week, the National Hockey League and the Canadian government reached an agreement for cross-border travel for the Stanley Cup semifinals and for the finals. As you know, Canada was not allowing games to be played in Canada due to COVID-19 protocols. So a lot of the major teams in sports was having their home games in various places like upstate New York and in Florida. But now they're allowing it to have it, but they, once they can only come through on a private plane and is subject to daily COVID-19 testing. So, and they will be in a as they put it, a modified quarantine bubble to have no contact with the general public. So, in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns point guard Chris Paul has entered the NBA's health and safety protocol and is out indefinitely. It's jeopardizing his availability for the Western Conference Finals. Now, Chris Paul is vaccinated, so he could come back sooner than we think, but he has to take 2 negative tests in order to come back and then go through some other testing as well. The league had did this when things were getting better with this COVID-19, that they have to follow, and the players are signed off on it, that they had to make sure that they're not around a large mass of people or social events. So we don't know why or where or when it happened, but he's going to be out for a while. Major League Baseball, pitchers will be ejected and suspended for 10 games for using illegal foreign substance to doctor baseballs in a crackdown by Major League Baseball that will start Monday. Repeat offenders will receive progressive discipline, and teams and club employees will be subject to discipline for failure to comply. Umpires will perform periodic checks for all starting and relief pitchers on both teams throughout each game. Pitchers will be responsible for foreign substances found on catchers and position players as well. Only time that they may not blame a pitcher is unless if the catchers and other position players is actually caught in the act of doing this. So, Arizona Diamondbacks have unveiled a gold uniform referencing the Sonoran Desert, the Sahara Desert, and the state Hispanic culture as the latest alternate jersey in the City Connect collection. The D-backs will also debut their uniforms June against the LA Dodgers and plan to wear them 6 more times, including Hispanic Heritage Weekend from September 24th to the 26th, which includes Roberto Clemente Day. Also in baseball, the governor of New York allow, starting today at Yankee Stadium, full capacity of fans. Full capacity. So things are clearing up. Yankee fans could wear their hats. They could drink their beverages, their hot dogs and peanuts. So they will have full, when I say full capacity. And on Monday at Citi Field, the New York Mets will have full capacity as well. Now, for the other sports, is that clear? Like the Buffalo Bills in football, whether or not they will have full capacity, but football's not here yet. I'm pretty sure if they allow it in New York City, they will probably allow it in New York State as well. Women's gymnastics, USA Gymnastic announced last Friday that Diane Durham will be inducted into the 2021 Hall of Fame, 30 years after she became the first black gymnast to win the senior national championships and 4 months after her death at the age of 52. So she's being, we're paying homage to her. Sorry that this took after her death for them to induct her into the Hall of Fame, but I'm pretty sure her family is delighted and is very happy for this occasion to occur. NCAA men's college football will have is considering a playoff, a current 14 field to a 12-team format when it meets in Chicago next week, making the first step. And this would be another historical change for the sport's postseason. So right now it's 4, but they're trying to expand it to 12. Today, June 18th in sports, in the year 1911, now it wasn't around then, but the Detroit Tigers was trailing the Chicago White Sox 13-1. Comeback to win a 16-15 is for one of the biggest comebacks in Major League Baseball history. In 1938, Babe Ruth signed as a Brooklyn Dodger coach for the rest of the season. Imagine that, the rivals. In 1941, Joe Louis knocked out Billy Conn in the 13th round for the heavyweight boxing title. In 1975, Fred Lynn gets 10 RBIs in a single game in a 15-1 victory over the Tigers. In 1977, most of you would still remember this. I remember this. This was on the Game of the Week. Billy Martin, former manager, the late Billy Martin, and Reggie Jackson got into a dugout altercation. Now, the story is that it was the Game of the Week. You got two high-profile personalities, and Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson. So Reggie Jackson was running for a ball. It was like he was lofting, as they call it in baseball. He was lofting, trying to get to the ball. And Billy Martin, as a manager, did not like that. You play for Billy Martin, you had to hustle. And, Reggie Jackson, known as Mr. October, mega superstar, and this was caught on the NBC Game of the Week, and it was caught wrestling, and it was an ugly scene. Later on, George Steinbrenner had fired Billy Martin only to hire him back the following year. So, or 2 years later, I should say. So that was that day. In 1986, Don Sutton becomes the 19th pitcher to win 300 games. 19th. And in the year 2000, Tiger Woods wins the 100 and his first U.S. Open men's golf Grand Slam by setting a record 15 strokes over Ernie Els and Miguel Angel Jimenez. So that happened in that day of sports. That is sports.
Oh, boy. Listen, let me ask you this question. Full capacity in stadiums. You say everybody, the date they're going to go full capacity. What does that mean for people who aren't vaccinated?
Well, I'm pretty sure they're still going to somehow vaccinate, take your temperature. We don't know all the details until you get to the stadium, but they're just trying to open things up. The people that are vaccinated, I'm pretty sure that's why the governor is doing this, to make sure that things is right. So again, you're going to be checked, and you are required to still wear a mask. Now, as for outdoors, I don't think you're required, but if it's indoors in like an arenas, basketball, and hockey, you are definitely going to be have to wear a mask. If I was going to a game myself, I wear a mask. Especially if it's full capacity. Now, full capacity. I don't know how many fans are hold at Yankee Stadium, but it could be anywhere to 50 to 55,000 fans at the mausoleum, as they call it, in the house that Babe Ruth built. Yeah, so we're gonna wait and see. But full capacity for the two New York teams in New York.
Well, let's just hope that everybody have the sense enough to proceed with caution, because even though they say, it's full capacity, because we're not still out of the woods yet. We're still, we're slowly but surely shredding our mask off. But we want to make sure that, and I said it earlier in the program, that even though that you're not going to wear your mask outdoors, at least have it in your pocket, because there are going to be certain places like restaurants who are still saying, you won't be serviced here unless you're wearing your mask, and at least you want to have it on hand. And even if you're riding mass transit too, you want to make sure that you have it on hand. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to say to all the fathers out there, Happy Father's Day coming up on Sunday. Me personally, I'm going to have a small pre-Father's Day barbecue here in Charlotte, North Carolina, one of the king states where they do barbecue. So I'm going to put some burgers, some hot dogs, and a new recipe I'm going to do. I'm going to do, like they have pulled pork, well, they have pulled beef. So I'm going to take the smoker out and maybe have a little potato salad and some corn on the cob. And going to have a little fun here.
You always try to find an excuse to light up.
Always have to find an excuse. I find every reason. If I see a reason why in the community why I got to smoke up, I'm going to smoke up. And even the community asked me for next week on the 27th, a week from Sunday, would I be the chef barbecue for the event? Yeah. I said, sure, why not?
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, happy Juneteenth to you, too.
Happy Juneteenth to you and to all, not only for African Americans, but to all who celebrate this wonderful occasion, the federal holiday. And, it took a while, but, I know there's some people that's against it, but that's okay.
It's okay.
It's a celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if they're doing it today or Monday, but I know the actual date is tomorrow, the 19th. But I don't, it's legal now. Now, if people are taking off, it's legal. It's a legal holiday now. So I don't know if people are taking off today or not. This is the first time this ever happened, something that was passed on the actual day. But nevertheless, it's passed and it's great. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Brian. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you next week.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, that was Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. His part of his 2020 feature, and he brings you that every week right here on the Coffee Hour, and that's called a Sports Update. And he brings you every week the latest developments in today's world of sports. If you watch us on Facebook and YouTube last night, we have our Talkback Live show. He's also on there too as well. We want to thank you guys for being along with us. We're sorry for that dropout that we had, and I'm just thinking, it was funny that it was dropped out in while I was doing my little monologue there about Juneteenth, but I'll get back to that. Anyway, we thank you for being along with us, and just in case you're just joining us, please don't make this your last time. Make us your weekly habit. And those of you who are watching, it doesn't matter where you're watching. You can be watching us on Facebook or YouTube. It doesn't matter. We're right there. You have the best of both worlds. Or you can watch them both at the same time like DJ Pete does sometime. And speaking of DJ Pete, we have his segment coming up about 5 minutes from now, 20 to the hour. His portion of the 2020 feature. He's not here today, but we are going to fill in for him, because he sends us information to make sure that what he has gets on the air, and we're going to do that. That's coming up in about 5 minutes from now, right here on YouTube and Facebook, right here on the Coffee Hour. Yeah, I was talking about earlier, that during the week, I was going through. Remember, we used to do this show. We used to do it live on location, and in the summertime, it used to be at a place called Cafe Central, and we used to sit outside, right? And in the wintertime, across the street from Cafe Central, it was a place called Urban Space. And those two across the street, Cafe Central is like at the foot of the MedLife building, which used to be known as the Pan Am building back in those days. And used to sit out there live. People used to pass by. We used to talk to them. It was a great time. I used to just enjoy doing that. And in the wintertime, as I said, we used to do Urban Space across the street. And we stopped doing that, of course, obviously because of the pandemic. And it seems like everything is coming back a little bit. However, Cafe Central, while all of this was going on, this pandemic started, they were going on under construction. I guess it was a good time for them to do that. They were under construction. And I noticed at one time I took a trip, just being in that area, I passed it and we're all boarded up, and that side was all boarded up. Now they took the borders down and you can see the men, just reconstructing everything. The place is still there. Cafe Central is still there. They just modernize it a little bit. And so they're going to be opening pretty soon. I hope. I'll keep checking on that and let you know about that. And as far as Urban Space is concerned, I talked to the manager there, and they said that, or one of the workers, maybe not necessarily the manager, but one of the workers there said they're going to reopen the indoor part in, excuse me, September. Wow. I sneeze on the air. They're going to open up in September. And so people can go back inside, and there's so many vendors and things like that. They're going to go back inside. People go back inside. Oh, this is not a good day for me. So the vendors will be going back inside, But as it goes right now, it's open, but you have to order inside. But on the outside, they have the area, the sidewalk. We have this long area where they have the tables and chairs, and you can sit outside. And they have two sections, one on 45th Street, East 45th Street, and then around the corner on the other side on Vanderbilt Avenue. So there's places you can do it. Now, the question you may be asking, are you going to go back doing it live? No, we're not going to go back into it because there's just too much involved right now. Because, working with Brian and DJ Pete and all the other things that we do, we couldn't possibly do there because we need telephone service to get them on the air. Now, if it were the other way around, if we were able to do the double split screen like we used to do, then of course we go back on back live in person. But YouTube, they canceled out a lot of things you don't do anymore, and I haven't seen any other shows doing any kind of split screen thing anymore via YouTube. And I think what they do now is they do everything by Zoom, and there's a lot of technical work to be involved. And I think the better way to do it is just keep everything here in the studio. So no, as much as I would love to do it, we're not going to go back out there live. We're not going to do that live anymore. From location. We're going to do everything's going to be doing it from here. Unless, of course, we come up with some ideas, and we try to come up with some modern ideas every day on how to make things work. But to keep Brian and DJ Pete in the loop, we need the telephone service, and we can't do that there. So, but it's good to know that, they're starting to take shape over there. Everything is taking shape. They're doing constructions on Cafe Central. And of course, I will still be there in the morning sometimes, not being on the air, of course, but, go there, have my coffee like I always do, and sit outside and just have a good time. And it's good to know that Cafe Central, when that closes in the wintertime, going inside doors of Urban Space, that's going to open up. They seem to be wanting to do that. If not, then we'll have to play everything else by ear. But no, we won't be broadcasting live from those locations anymore. So That's the answer to your question. If you're just joining us, thank you for being out there. I see people are starting to come in. Once again, we're sorry for the technical difficulty in the beginning. We had a dropout in a program on our Facebook side. YouTube is still going strong out there. And so we want to apologize to you on that. And things happen like that. You know, they always happen like that. Anyway, we are here, and of course, it's time. It's the 2020 feature. We're still into the 2020 feature. DJ Pete is not here today, but of course, he left us information, and we're going to recite those birthdays. It's his time, the 2020 feature, so we're going to cover that right now. He left us a list, a great list of people right here. Wild Bill Moore was born on this day, June 13th. 1918. He's 100, or would have been 103 years old. And of course, Wild Bill, he was noted for his American R&B and jazz tenor saxophone playing. And he goes back way back in 1918 when he was born. And he passed away August 1st back in 1983, as a matter of fact. He was only 65 years old. So happy birthday, or would have been birthday, to Wild Bill Moore. Okay. And Burl Ives, remember Burl Ives? Burl Ives is noted. He was an actor, all right? He was an actor. He was a singer. And he was well known for that some of his voiceovers in some of those Christmas animated programs that came around. And also noted for that song, It's a Holly Jolly Christmas. He was born on June 14th back in 1909, and he passed away April 14th in 1995 at the age of 85. And of course, Burl Ives, he had that great voice too. Great actor, voiceover artist, and a very fine singer. So it's a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Junior Walker of Junior Walker and the All-Stars. His real name was Audrey DeWalt Mixon. Audrey DeWalt Mixon Jr. And Junior Walker and the All-Stars, he was born June 14th, 1931, and he passed away November 23rd in 1995 at the age of 65. Junior Walker and the All-Stars, known for that big hit Shotgun. And of course, he did other great stuff. Junior Walker and the All-Stars. Russell Charles Hitchcock. No relation to Alfred. No relation to Alfred. And he was born, and he's still alive today. He's still active. He's 72. He's 72 today. And Russell Charles Hitchcock. And he's a musician. He does vocals. He plays the drums. And so we acknowledge his birthday today. Happy birthday to him. And as we move down the line, we have Paul McCartney is celebrating a birthday today. Paul McCartney is 79 years old today. Paul McCartney, as you know, he was one of the frontmen of the Beatles. And he also wrote a lot of songs along with John Lennon of the Beatles. And so he's 79. Happy birthday to Paul McCartney. Yes, indeed. Guy Lombardo, who you know every year when you hear that song, Old Lang Syne, you always think of him. He would have been 109 years old today. He was born June 19th, which would be tomorrow. And he would have been 109 years old. He was born in 1902. Guy Lombardo. And one of our beloved Three Stooges, remember Mo Howard. The real name was, Moses Horowitz. Out of Brooklyn, New York. They lived in Brownsville and Brooklyn. Curly, Jerry Horowitz, and Samuel, his brother Shemp. You know, they were all born in Brooklyn, in Brownsville. Well, Mo Howard would have been celebrating his birthday tomorrow, the 19th, 1897 he was born. That would have made him 124 years old. And in case, speaking of, and might as well say, speaking of Mo Howard and the Three Stooges, you can find the Three Stooges on every week, every Saturday on MeTV, starting at 6 p.m. You know, up until about 8, 2 hours of Three Stooges. So, and you know, their act never dies. It just keeps going on and on. And finally, Graham Russell of Air Supply is celebrating a birthday. He celebrated his birthday June 11th. He was born in 1950. He's 71 years old. So there you have it. And moving right along today, Tommy Hunt of the Flamingos, formerly of the Flamingos, and later on left to go on his own. He's celebrating a birthday today. He's 88, Tommy Hunt. And Tommy still lives on, and I think he's still a little active, but he hasn't had a hit since that one hit he had back in the early 60s called Human. And but Tommy Hunt, he's still alive and kicking. Sammy Cahn, who wrote a lot of great songs, a lot of scores, and Sinatra sang a lot of his tunes. Sammy Cahn, when he was the guy that teamed up with Jimmy Van Heusen, and he would have been 108 years old today. Sammy Cahn. So there you have all the birthdays and all the people in show business who produced those, and that was. Of course, courtesy of DJ Pete, who's here each week. We'll check it week by week if he's going to be here. Now, he'll bounce in every now and then, but until he decides to bounce in each week, he will send us information that we will read off. And speaking of DJ Pete, you can catch his radio show on www.radioairwaves.co.uk on Mondays at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And you could also catch him on WMPG Radio in Portland, Maine. And if you don't have access to the radio station, you could always check it out on their website. Yes, it's www.wmpg.org. And he's on every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. And all of these times that I give you, all on Eastern. So make sure that you check your clocks by that. It's now coming up to 12 minutes. It's coming up to 12 minutes to the hour, and you're just joining us for the first time. We invite you to join us because we're here every week. It's the coffee hour. And what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So salute Cindane. May you live 100 years plus. Okay, so there you have it. And So we want to tell you that you can check us out. We're here every week. So those of you, I see people coming in, so I just want to wave to you guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being part of us as you are each week. Happy Juneteenth to all of you who are celebrating. As Brian said, it's not just for African Americans, but it's for everyone. And it's a bill that the president signed into being as a legal holiday, a national holiday for all of us. And some people are celebrating today, taking off, because once it's in effect, it's legal, you can take off, right? I don't know how that worked. I'm pretty sure that, and if you bosses are out there, you know, close your shops today. Close your shops. Or if you don't want to do it today, close them Monday. Celebrate it Monday. But it's legal. It's a legal holiday, and I'm here. And I guess we're a service, so DJs and radio people, TV people, we don't get the days off. Sometimes we do. In this case, I think I probably would have took this day off to make it constructive, But it's only an hour show, so I can still use the whole day to make a constructive day for all of us. What are you guys doing for the weekend? Brian said he's going to do a little smoking, right? He's going to pump up the smoker and, of course, celebrate Juneteenth by just having people over and just and it's Father's Day too. So you got Father's Day. It's a whole weekend for fathers. All of you fathers, happy Father's Day to you. That's coming up on Sunday. You're going to go out. You're going to do something. You're going to be celebrated. So there's so many things to do today. Those of you who are interested, we have movies, classic movies. I love those classic movies. In case you want to know what's coming on, I have picks of the week. picks of the week that are coming on this weekend that you can sit back, relax, and enjoy. I have 4 picks this week. 4 picks this week. Judge Hardy and Son, starring Mickey Rooney, back in 1939. That's coming on Turner Classic Movies, and that's on this Sunday at 12 noon Eastern. That's everything is Eastern. All the times I'm giving you is Eastern time. Judge Hardy and Son with Mickey Rooney. Now, you already know Mickey Rooney was famous for all of those Hardy movies, those Andy Hardy movies. He's Andy Hardy. Has so many of them, a cluster of them. But this one is coming on. I've seen it before. I liked it. I still like it. I love it. Judge Hardy and Son, Mickey Rooney. That's again Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Life with Father, starring William Powell, back in 1947. That's coming on Sunday as well at 4 p.m. Eastern on Turner Classic Movie. And that's a great movie too. All of these great black and white movies. And here's another one going back to 1950, starring Spencer Tracy and Elizabeth Taylor, Father of the Bride, a nice comedy, a nice wedding comedy back in 1950. That's coming on Sunday as well at 6:15 p.m. So act accordingly. And that's happening this Sunday. And here's another classic that follows Father of the Bride. Now, oh, by the way, Father of the Bride, like I said, is 1950. That's not the remake. The remake starred Steve Martin. Steve Martin was in the remake comedy of it, but this is the original. All of these things I'm telling you are the originals, 1950. And here's something that's dear to my heart, and I am going to be watching it like everybody else. It's called The Pride of the Yankees, starring Gary Cooper, back in 1942. That's coming on Turner Classic Movie. It will follow Father of the Bride at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I hope that you enjoy it. So, I mean, even if I miss it, I still have that movie in my archives, and I can watch it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight in case I missed it. But Sunday night, 8 p.m. All right. So again, let me repeat it. All of the movies you have: Judge Hardy and Son with Mickey Rooney on Turner Classic Movie at 12 noon. All of this is Sunday, 12 noon Eastern. Life with Father with William Powell, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Father of the Bride with Spencer Tracy and Elizabeth Taylor. That's Sunday at 6:15 p.m. And of course, Pride of the Yankees with Gary Cooper. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. So those are my picks. Now, there are other great movies from Turner Classic. All you have to do is go on your cable box and just scan through the guide, Turner Classic Guide, and you'll see that there'll be more. But those are just my picks. Those are the ones I think that you'll enjoy. But there's others. And if you don't like any of those and you want a little bit more, of course, by all means, go on Movie on Demand. You have paid movies, you have free movies, and if you like free movies, they'll give you all of the movies that are there. You can scan through the networks, old television shows that you have missed. Just go right there, and you'll be well entertained this weekend. But make sure that you take care of a father, though. But it's ironic that we have all these two movies, Life with Father and Father of the Bride. It's all on Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Frank Allen here. It's the coffee hour. So excuse me while I shoot up. Okay, and I can't believe we're just about 6 minutes away from bye-bye time. And I know that wherever you are, if you have good weather, I hope that you enjoy. If you're doing any outdoor activities, please keep everything on the safe side. Would you do that for me? Make sure everything's on the safe side, and that you're going to be around people. If you're not vaccinated, of course, continue to wear your mask. That's very important. And we want to keep everybody healthy. And again, please, by all means, make sure that you take care of your family in that regard, and get vaccinated. Make sure you do that. Now, if it's a personal reason, or if it's a religious reason, or a medical reason that you don't take it, fine, I understand. But realize something, that the more people take it, the quicker they take it, the faster we can flatten this thing completely. Out of the way, finito. Move on. You're no longer welcome here. Out of here. Go. and that's when we'll get it all together. Now, as I said, people are not wearing a mask. They're kind of shredding them away, and I'm one of them, but I stay with precaution. I keep my mask with me, and sometimes I walk down the street with it on, and other times, if no one's around, I'll take it off. And if I'm like in an isolated area, I take it off and enjoy that human part, that normal part of life, right? And so there you go. And again, for those of you who weren't vaccinated yet, if you're not going to get vaccinated, please follow the guidelines by make sure that you wear your mask and keep your 6 feet distance, okay? But again, I urge you to do that. I really urge you to do that. It's 5 minutes to the hour, and well, now it's 4 minutes to the hour. Time is moving fast. We got 4 minutes, and I just want to say hello to all you guys. I see more people are coming in, so I just want to wave. Howdy, howdy. You're watching us on Facebook. Thank you for being along with us. You're watching us on YouTube. I want to apologize to all the people on Facebook. Earlier, we had dropped out. Our signal dropped out, and we had to boot ourselves back online. So I'm glad that everything is fine. So there you go. Now, have you had a chance to check out my podcast? I do have a podcast, all right, and it's called The Blue Cafe. The Blue Cafe. I don't have the information up there since we rebooted for those of you who are watching us on Facebook. But here's what I'll do. I'll cut and paste it for you. Okay, I'll cut and paste it for you. It's a show that you could watch. It's on. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. What I will do is I will give you the information now on where to go. Okay, let me give you that information now. Let's see if I can find it, first of all. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I do have it. Okay. What I'll do is I will, for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, okay, here's the information for you. Okay, that's the information for you. You see, it just popped up. Okay, and you can see underneath that it popped up, the direct website popped up. You see? It all popped up there. Now, that's the name of the website. Now, all you have to do is just go onto that website, and you'll see all of the interviews that I did. I did one with Bobby Rydell. That was the last one I did. We're kind of slow. We're going to try to get more interviews. I did that in April, and then before that, I did one with Jimmy Clanton, and the other one with Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson. 3 great interviews I think you're going to like. So there you. I just put it up there for all of you who are watching on YouTube. For those of you who are on Facebook. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, well, yours is still up there in the chat area. Go to the top. You'll see the link. It says The Blue Cafe. All you have to do is press on the link. It'll take you directly there, and you'll see the 3 interviews. And you don't have to listen to them back to back to back. But when you get time, they'll be up there, and you can listen to them, whenever you have the time too. But just so you know, it's right there. And of course, all of my information is there. You see right there as well. I have my, my email address and my telephone number. If you have or want to get in touch with me by any means, just to say hello or say hi to the show or whatever, please do that. That would be great. Hey, listen, guys, it's time for me to leave. But before I go, I want you to know you can check us out on Talkback Live. Talkback Live, that's every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And Brian Camp will be along with the latest developments in today's world of sports, as he does every week. He'll be with me then. That's every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Talkback Live. Other than that, I will be back here next week for more fun and excitement, and I hope that we don't drop out at any point. Right here on the Coffee Hour, Brian Camp will be here as well, DJ Pete. If he's not here, of course, we'll continue his feature, 2020 feature between him and DJ Pete. I'm out of here. Have yourself a great day, a great weekend. For all of you fathers, happy Father's Day to you. And make sure you take care of yourself and do everything safe and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.